My name is Michael DeLue. Today is Monday, July 10th, 2023. If you are a Chelsea FC fan and believe London is blue the way I do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and join the Pull Up the Tape community. With that being said, I want to get into the daily news for today on Chelsea FC, reporting on stories, giving you my opinion, all of the above. But before I do that, let me address something obvious. It's been about maybe like a month and a half since the last time I recorded a video, which honestly I think is personally unacceptable, and that's not something that I want to get in the habit of doing. But unfortunately, I did. I do want to apologize to all the subscribers that were following me through the, through the NBA finals and the playoffs and whatever the case may be. I honestly have no excuse besides the fact that I was, discouraged and, lacking encouragement and lacking motivation to get up and, consistently make these videos for whatever reason. But I'm here to tell you guys, you know what, moving forward, there's going to be a level of consistency that's going to remain from me from now to the end of the year, for 2024, 2025, and so on and so forth. Okay, but with that being said, let's get right into the politics of today's news. Obviously, it's already been a very, 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 very crazy transfer window for Chelsea. We've sold a lot of players. We had a lot of outgoing players. Kalidou Koulibaly, Edward Mendy, Mateo Kovacic went to Man City. Mason Mount went to Manchester United. Kai Havertz went to Arsenal, and so on and so forth. And we have some stuff. I want to talk about a specific player, okay? But before I talk about a specific player, I want to make something very, very evident and make something very, very known. Okay. It's obvious that Chelsea have one of the best academies in the world. Like it's not even close. We have the best academy in England, and we have one of the best academy in the world. I don't even think we have one of the best. I think we do have the best academy in the world. If we look at all the players that we've had come in our ranks since 2010, it's at least 30 first-team players that are playing all over Europe as of right now. Tammy Abraham, Fikayo Tomori, Mason Mount, Reece James, Dominique Solanke, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Mark Gahey, Conor Gallagher, Tariq Lamptey. Did Nathan Ake come through our academy? Timo Livramento, Armando Broja. So many players, so many different players, so many good players, whatever the case may be. Some of these kids started at 6. Some of these kids started at 7. Some of them started at 8 at Chelsea. Some of them started at 9 at Chelsea. Some of them started at 10, 14, whatever the case may be. But the notion that just because a kid came through our ranks and came through our academy does not mean he's proper Chelsea. Like the term proper Chelsea, like, he wants to stay at Chelsea for the rest of his career. That honestly, that's just not realistic. It's never been realistic. It's never been realistic, especially at a club like Chelsea. It's never been realistic, especially the notion that, Chelsea just dangle academy players left and right for sales, whatever the case may be. The pathway to the first team at Chelsea has always been very, very bad. I mean, very, very bad. Like, for a long time, the only person that made it from the academy all the way to the first team was John Terry. I mean, over the years that has changed, and it's drastically changed ever since the, transfer ban. But we got to be realistic with ourselves. And I say this to say because Levi Colwill, right, he's catching a lot of steam because apparently a lot of Chelsea fans didn't like his reaction after winning the World Cup for the under-21s this past weekend. He was pictured on Instagram Live with, not pictured, yeah, he recorded himself on Instagram Live with Nani Madueke, and Nani said that, I'm making sure he comes back to Chelsea with me. And Levi's reaction was like, this guy, which usually means like, bro, stop. Like, whatever the case may be. A lot of people don't like that. A lot of people didn't fuck with that. And I'm not going to lie, I myself, it wasn't the most encouraging thing that I saw, but I had to put things into perspective. And I want to thank Matisse for this. Actually, I watched Matisse's video before I decided to make this video for myself. Levi Colwill, right, he has been on loan. He's been on loan for the past 2 seasons, okay? Last year he went on loan to Brighton. The year before that he was at Huddersfield United. I'm not sure if it's Huddersfield Town or Huddersfield United. But for the sake of this video, I'm just saying Huddersfield. And it's important to note that Levi is under contract at Chelsea until 2026, okay? That's at least 3 more seasons at the bare minimum. 2 more seasons before we're forced to sell if he decides not to renew his contract, all right? He has 2 years left on his deal, and the club can trigger a 3rd year based on, at our discretion, we can trigger a 3rd year. I think Levi Colwill understands what it is at Chelsea, okay? Since Roman Abramovich has taken over, we've had managers come in and out, in and out, in and out. On top of that, he sees and understands that, Chelsea, even though this is a team that, he came up through the ranks, whatever the case may be, Mauricio Pochettino is the coach now, but that's not a guarantee he's going to be the coach in 18 months, in 2 years. Me personally, I would hope so, but we have to be realistic. This is Chelsea. We understand what type of club we're dealing with. We understand who we're dealing with. I definitely feel like the owners now are trying to get away from that mold and that structure that Roman Abramovich built where, team struggling, sack the coach. So, and he's been very, very vocal because I feel like a lot of people want him to be proper Chelsea, all about the club, blase, blase, blase. Like this is the same summer window where he's seen Mason Mount, who he's probably looked up to for some time, considering he, especially in the ranks, Mason Mount, it's 23, 24, I think, something like that. I think Mason was born 99, or I think Mason was born 99 or 98, one of the two. He's probably, always looked up to Mason Mount. Not always, but looked up to Mason Mount like, especially in 2019 when Mason, Fakayo, Tammy, all these guys broke into the first team that, he wants to do the same thing. And he's seen, the fact that Mason has just left. Mason is went to Manchester United. So, and understands like, okay, Fakayo Tomori left. All these guys left. And before he's willing to commit his future to Chelsea, he's made it very, very well noted that he wants game time. And I'm not mad at that. Because at first it did bother me that he wasn't willing to commit to Chelsea and play it. Because I'm just like, dude, like, if you want to play for Chelsea, come fight for your spot. But in hindsight, I'm not mad at his reaction. I mean, it's not a guarantee he's going to play. It's not a guarantee he's going to be here next year, whatever the case may be. But what I do want is a guarantee for him to fight for, like, all I'm asking for when it comes to him and the club is a fair competition. I don't like I understand him wanting to play, and that's fine. That's okay. I understand that. I mean, he's young, he's talented, he's 6'4", he's one of the I understand the English media does have a tendency to hype players a lot, but Levi Colwill is the shit. Like it's the shit. There's a reason why Brighton are willing to pay £40 million to keep him. Brighton don't want him to leave. They're willing to pay £40 million to keep him. Chelsea's like, fuck no, baby. Absolutely not. We're not doing that. Okay. My only thing is, I wish he would have been, a little bit more expressive. Like, you know what? I do want to come to Chelsea. I do want to fight to earn a spot. Like the notion, like at this level, you're not. It doesn't matter who. Now let me not say that. It does matter who you are. Majority of guys at this level, especially at that age, you're not just walking into a start. You're not. At the end of the day, Chelsea are one of the top 10 clubs in the world. Top 10 clubs in Europe, world, whatever, however you want to put it. At 21 years old, you're not just going to walk into our starting 11. That's just not realistic. I get it. He's ambitious. He wants to play, whatever the case may be. And Gareth Southgate is damn near guaranteed if you are a starting player at the club level in the Premier League or any team in Europe, you will earn an England call-up, and you will damn near be the starter in England. So obviously he's ambitious. Obviously he wants to play, whatever the case may be. But man, hey, young buck, there's steps that you have to take before you can get that. Okay, I mean, I get it. Like, and the notion that I personally just don't want people to read too much into that. I don't think it's that deep. I don't think it's that serious. I mean, he's gonna talk to Pochettino this week today. I think he's set to report back to Chelsea today. And, they're going to work it out and see, see if he fits into Pochettino's plans, which I'm sure he does. And understand what needs to be taken for him to become a first-team starter. As of right now at the club, the center backs that we have, Wesley Fofana, Benoit Badiashile, Trevor Chalobah, and Thiago Silva. Realistically, I don't see Thiago Silva at the club past next year, right? So his competition moving forward for our center back spot are Wesley Fofana, Benoit Badiashile, and Trevor Chalobah. I think he's better than Trevor Chalobah. He's a way better prospect than Trevor Chalobah. I don't know how he will look in the first team, but I think I've never heard Trevor Chalobah being talked about the way that Levi Colwill is being talked about. Ain't nobody putting no 40 million pound bid for Trevor Chalobah as well. Okay, so that's that. Benoit Badiashile, I actually like him. I think he's really, really good. And Wesley Fofana, I think, is the best center back that we have outside of obviously Thiago Silva. But Thiago Silva is not he's not a long-term option at this point in his career, at this age, or whatever the case may be. So I think Levi Colwill slots right in. I think he'll be perfectly fine. I think he can cement himself as the perfect pairing for Wesley Fofana, honestly. And I think rotating him with Benoit Badiashile, obviously we need cover as well. So, and then, next year, hopefully, by God's grace, Chelsea get Champions League football at the end of next season. And by the 2024-2025 season, we're back in the Champions League. And, obviously, because, I honestly think everybody should calm the fuck down. We will be fine. And at the end of the day, Levi Colwill is not going anywhere until 2026 at the earliest. At the earliest, he's not going anywhere until 2026. He's going to be I firmly believe. And then plus, Benoit Badiashile is out for the next in May. He was announced to be out for 4 months. I didn't even realize this until watching Matisse's video. And it said that, he's going to be out for the next 4 months. It's been 2 months. He's going to be out for another 2 months. He's going to miss the first month of the season. Because our first game against Liverpool is August 13th, if I'm not mistaken, August 13th. So I think if Levi Colwill is as good as he thinks he is, he will have no problem. If he's as good as he thinks he is and he walks in and proves it day one at Cobham, he'll have no problem getting into the starting 11. Will he be a consistent starter? Maybe, maybe not. But he will get game time for sure this season. For sure. So with that being said, honestly, I hope everyone just lets that die down or whatever the case may be, and just leaves that where it should be. I don't think it's that big of an issue. Next thing I want to talk about is Romelu Lukaku. Okay, and Matt Law has just reported that Inter are working together a plan to structure a 35 million pound bid for Romelu Lukaku. Okay, and one thing I want to say is, I am very, very, very satisfied and very pleased with the way Chelsea has handled this situation, especially considering all the trouble I feel like Romelu Lukaku has caused. For the past month, we've been trying to get rid of him and trying to sell him, and I'm just happy Chelsea have played firm, especially considering we coughed up $100 million to Inter 2 years ago to sign this fucking dude. This dude has been easily one of the worst signings I have ever seen since I became a Chelsea fan. One of the worst signings. And to think, thank God that we broke the bank to sign Enzo, because Romelu Lukaku will still be our club record signing, because this guy has been the epitome of a terrible professional since he signed for Chelsea 2 years ago. Because other than the Kepa situation where Kepa refused to come off for the Carabao Cup final in 2019 when Maurizio Sarri was our head coach. I don't know anything more asinine and more disrespect. And even the Kepa thing, I don't even think that was as bad as people tried to make it seem. Maurizio Sarri only was trying to sub Kepa off because he thought Kepa was injured. Kepa was like, no, I'm perfectly fine. I think that's all that was. And then Sarri ran to the touchline, or went to tunnel, or whatever the case may be, and all that, whatever the case may be. That, honestly, I feel like was just a misunderstanding. Kepa was saying, I'm not hurt. Mauricio thought he was hurt, tried to pull him off. Kepa said, I'm fine. He's like, bro, come off. He's waving off Willy Caballero, whatever the case may be. Misunderstanding. There was no misunderstanding about Romelu Lukaku's interview. That shit was so fucking disrespectful to Chelsea. And then on top of that, he finished off the season. He had a decent season at best. Definitely not what we paid for in terms of $100 million. Definitely not that. And all of a sudden, like, you know, we sent him to Inter on loan last year. He wanted to go back. And all of a sudden, you know, we're trying to work with Inter to get a fair price so they can buy him back and have him permanently. They're talking about, oh, we only want him on loan with no option to buy, and just playing hardball, and just all these asinine games that I just don't understand. Juventus are interested in him in a swap deal for Vlahovic. He's talking about, oh, I don't want to go to Juventus. I only want to go to Inter. Oh, now you suddenly have loyalty for Inter. Okay. Al Hilal want to put in a 40 million pound bid for him to buy him permanently. I don't want to go to Saudi. The Saudis are offering him a $70 million wage package. He's going to make $70 million. $70 million in 3 years. He's like, oh no, I don't want to go there. Okay, bro. If you don't want to go to Saudi, you don't want to go to Juventus, take your goofy, bald-headed ass to the Inter front office or the directors at Inter and tell them to put their money where their fucking mouth is. If they want you so bad, purchase you outright. And I'm happy that Chelsea is standing on their own 10s and sticking to this shit, because this is ridiculous. What the fuck is this? They're playing games with man. Hey, cough up the money so you can have this dude, because Chelsea don't want him. I don't want him. The fans don't want him. The directors don't want him. This is ridiculous. Jesus Christ, I can't wait till he's gone. Oh my God, I can't wait till he's gone. And the last thing I want to talk about in today's news is Rayan Cherki. So the Express has reported that Chelsea are working to, you know, inquire on how much it would cost to sign Rayan Cherki, because with us being linked to Paulo Dybala, and he comes out and says, you know what, I'm not going anywhere. I want to stay at Roma, which I respect. I have no issue with. I respect, you know what I mean? Just because we're interested in the player doesn't mean he has to drop everything and want to come. I mean, he did have a decent season at Roma. Without him being at Roma, they probably wouldn't have been as successful as they were last season. But, you know, he obviously serves as somebody who could play in the number 10 role for us. He no longer, I'm not sure if he was just saying that just to say that, but, you know, he's put it out there that he's not interested in coming. But, I mean, I'm pretty sure if we activate his release clause that he would come. Mason Mount, gone. Somebody who could play the number 10 role. Kai Havertz, gone. Somebody who could play the number 10 role. So Chelsea are interested in signing Rayan Cherki. And it makes a lot of sense. He made his debut at 16. He's had a lot of experience. Had a lot of experiences for Lyon. Chelsea have a really good relationship with Lyon. We signed Malo Gusto and loaned him back to Lyon so they could finish out their campaign in Ligue 1. Malo Gusto, he's already made it very, very clear that he wants to team back up with Malo Gusto. I guess they're boys. We have a lot of French-speaking players in our squad as it is. Thiago Silva, obviously Malo Gusto, Christopher Nkunku, who plays for France, and then, you know, obviously Benoit Badiashile, Wesley Fofana. We got a lot of guys that are obviously French, either associated with the French team or played in France or speak France. So I think that the Chelsea should look into signing him. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know a lot of stuff about this guy, but, you know, we have lost a lot of players in the front end of our team, you know, like in terms of attackers. So I think after finally solidifying this deal with Moses Caicedo, Chelsea should look into signing some more, you know, attack-driven players. So I'm all for it. I'm 1,000% on board with them signing him because, you know, we need, you know, France, you know, as a country produces a lot of, you know, good players and good prospects. So, you know, Chelsea feel like he is, and I'm firmly fucking with everything that our board is doing, everything they're pushing to do. I stand by them. We have a lot of good people in technical roles as the directors, head of scouting, whatever the case may be, and whoever they're on board with signing, I'm on board with. I trust these guys. I trust the owners. And I mean, I'm all for it. I'm really, really excited about, us starting preseason and, getting finally the boys back out there and playing. And just hopefully we can put last season in the past and just continue to move forward as, a season to forget. But with that being said, my name is Michael DeLu. I firmly believe that London is blue. London is blue. London will always be blue. Get in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Whatever the case may be, I would love to hear. I know a lot of people aren't going to watch this. A lot of people aren't going to like, but nevertheless, it is what it is. This is just a start. Obviously, I need to work on being a little bit more consistent. But with that being said, London is blue. London is blue. London will always be fucking blue. You see what it is. You see what it is. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Keep that blue flag flying high. Up Chelsea, proper Chelsea, all that shit. London is blue. London is blue. London will always be fucking blue. All right? Subscribe.